I lost our baby, but my husband still expected dinner that night. His coldness broke me. I'm 31. My husband, Mark, is 33. We've been together for 10 years, married for 5. Our relationship, or what I thought was our relationship, has always been pretty solid. We had our ups and downs, like any couple, but I always felt loved, supported, and cherished. We wanted a family more than anything. We had been trying for a baby for over a year, and when we finally saw those 2 lines, we were ecstatic. Over the moon. Our little miracle was on its way. The pregnancy was going well. I was 11 weeks along, past the danger zone, or so everyone kept telling me. We'd picked out names, started looking at tiny onesies, even had a secret Pinterest board filled with nursery ideas. I was still in that nauseous, exhausted first trimester haze, but every discomfort was worth it, a tiny sacrifice for the life growing inside me. Last Tuesday started like any other day. Mark had already left for work. I was feeling a bit more cramping than usual, but I attributed it to typical early pregnancy aches. I worked from home, so I just curled up on the couch with a heating pad, trying to get comfortable. By late morning, the cramping intensified. It wasn't just discomfort anymore, it was pain. Sharp, insistent jabs that took my breath away. I started to panic. I called my OB, explained what was happening, and they told me to come in immediately. I called Mark, but he didn't answer. I left a frantic voicemail, telling him I was going to the doctor, that something felt wrong. I drove myself to the clinic, barely able to focus on the road through the waves of pain. The waiting room was a blur. When they finally called my name, I was sweating, trembling. The nurse took my blood pressure, her face creased with concern. Then the doctor came in, her expression already grim. The ultrasound technician was gentle. I watched the screen, my heart pounding, searching for the familiar flicker, the tiny heartbeat we had seen just weeks ago. But there was nothing. Just emptiness. A stillness where there should have been life. "I'm so sorry, Amelia," the doctor said, her voice soft but firm. "There's no heartbeat. It looks like you're having a miscarriage." The world went silent. The words hung in the air, heavy, final. No heartbeat. Our baby was gone. It was over. All our hopes, our dreams, our plans, annihilated in an instant. I don't remember much of what happened next. A blur of medical terms, instructions, a prescription for pain medication, and the grim reality that I would have to go home and endure the rest of the miscarriage naturally. The doctor explained it would be like a heavy, painful period with cramping and bleeding, and that I should expect to pass tissue. I stumbled out of the clinic, my legs feeling like lead, my mind numb. I checked my phone. No missed calls from Mark. No texts. I drove home, each bump in the road sending a fresh jolt of pain, both physical and emotional. I was hemorrhaging. The cramping was now unbearable, like relentless contractions. I collapsed onto the bathroom floor, the pain so intense I couldn't even cry. I just curled into a ball, trying to breathe, trying to comprehend that this was it. This was the end of our baby. Hours passed. I was on the bathroom floor, alternating between agonizing pain and waves of profound emptiness. I managed to text Mark again, a single word, miscarriage. No response. I called my best friend, Sarah, who immediately dropped everything and rushed over. She found me huddled in a pool of blood, shaking and weeping. She cleaned me up, held me, and just let me sob into her shoulder. She made sure I took my pain meds, brought me water, and just was there. My husband was still absent, still silent. It was almost 7 p.m. when I finally heard the key turn in the lock. Mark was home. Sarah gave me a tight squeeze, whispered, "I'll be right outside," and left the bathroom. I was still on the floor, wrapped in a blanket, pale and weak, staring blankly at the wall. The physical pain had subsided slightly, replaced by a deep, aching void in my womb and my soul. I heard him walk into the kitchen, heard the clatter of him putting his keys down. Then his voice. Calm, even-toned, completely devoid of any emotion I could discern. "Hey, what's for dinner?" It wasn't a question delivered with concern, or even curiosity about my whereabouts. It was an expectation. A casual inquiry about the evening meal, as if I had spent the day doing nothing more strenuous than deciding between takeout options. I froze. I didn't move. I didn't speak. I couldn't. He walked over to the bathroom doorway, where I was still huddled on the floor. He looked at me, lying there, obviously broken, with blood on my pajamas and a faint sheen of sweat on my forehead. He looked at me, and his expression didn't change. No shock. No horror. No rush of concern. Just a mild, almost imperceptible frown. "Did you get my text?" I whispered, my voice raw and hoarse. "I told you. I had a miscarriage." He nodded. "Yeah, I saw it. So, did you get a chance to make anything?" "I'm starving." And in that moment, something inside me shattered irrevocably. It wasn't just the pain of the miscarriage anymore. It was the absolute, gut-wrenching realization that the man I had built my life with, the man who was supposed to be my partner, my comfort, my other half, cared more about his dinner than my devastated body and soul. His coldness, his utter lack of empathy, his casual dismissal of the tragedy that had just unfolded, broke me in a way the miscarriage itself hadn't. Sarah, hearing his words, walked back into the bathroom. Her face was a mask of furious disbelief. "Mark, are you serious right now? Amelia just lost her baby. She's been through hell all day. She's bleeding, she's in agony, and you ask what's for dinner." Mark just shrugged. "Well, what am I supposed to do? We still have to eat." He avoided looking at me, his gaze flickering nervously around the room. "And it's not like I could have done anything. Miscarriages happen. Miscarriages happen." The words echoed in my head, a chilling mantra of his indifference. Sarah, furious, helped me up. "Amelia, let's go. You're not spending another minute here." She drove me to her apartment. I stayed there for days, slowly beginning the long, agonizing process of grieving, both for our lost baby and for the shattered image of my marriage. Mark has called, texting me sporadically, mostly asking when I'm coming home, or if I'm feeling better yet. He hasn't once apologized for his words, or truly acknowledged the depth of my pain. He hasn't asked about our baby. I haven't gone back. I don't know if I can. The memory of his face, his tone, his casual cruelty in my darkest hour is branded into my mind. I loved him, I thought. I truly believed we had a future, a family. But that moment, his question about dinner, exposed a gaping, terrifying void where I thought his empathy and love for me, for us, resided. Am I being too harsh? Is grief making me irrational? Or was his reaction so profoundly unacceptable that it signifies the end of everything? I feel like I'm mourning not one loss, but two. The loss of our baby and the loss of the man I thought I married. I feel completely, utterly alone. What do I do?